Hey, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. Just wanted to jump on real quick tonight. We tried to do a live stream and it wasn't working at first in the beginning. And then when I had Big Ron and Polar Bear on, it really wasn't working that well. But then I got it figured out, and Kevin and Howard were able to get on, and we were able to do a little bit with John Branham in the chat. So that went pretty well once we got it working. So we're going to try again another day this week and have some other guests on WTP Sports Dudes. So hopefully you'll get a chance to watch and be on with us live when we go on again. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that Texas is trying to finish out their recruiting before high school football season starts and before college football season starts for them. And so today, one of the players that they were seeking to get a commitment from decided he was going to commit to Oklahoma, which is one of Texas' rivals, which we already knew that this was where that young man was leaning towards. And we wish the best for him and hope that he has a successful time at Oklahoma and he does great things. Because just because he didn't come to Texas doesn't mean we want the young man to fail. We definitely want the young man to do great things. We're not those kind of human beings as Texas fans, you know. We wish him the best and hopefully he does great things. But anyway, lately it's been one of those issues where you got some Texas fans who are kind of concerned, like, wow, what's going on? Why aren't we getting these top-notch recruits? Why are they going other places? And then you got other Texas fans like myself who are like, listen, we've already seen this story written two or three times already, where Steve Sarkisian is not where we expect him to be in recruiting before December. And then all of a sudden, he'll run off and he'll get 17, 18, 19 recruits by the start of the college football season. And then when December comes, he gets guys that flip, and then we end up with 24, 25 guys in our recruiting class, and we end up with a top five ranking in the recruiting class. So, I mean, I expect that to be the same thing. So those Texas fans out there that are a little worried, listen, you can't get them all. There's other colleges and universities that are great, just like Texas is great, and they're going to get some of those recruits. So it's going to happen. You just continue to do what you do, and you know Steve Sarkisian is going to recruit through the whistle. So even though those players who Texas lost out on right now with a verbal commitment, trust and believe they're going to keep on recruiting those young men, and hopefully by the time December rolls around and it comes to signing day, they end up getting those guys to flip and come to Texas. Even if they don't, we wish them the best. Hopefully, we can get these other five guys that we're in the running for, that we expect to announce before college football starts. Hopefully, we can get Jamie French, who's a wide receiver that we're very high on because we need another receiver in this class of 2025. We also would like to get Jonah Williams, who plays defense and is also a two-sport star, plays baseball and football. So we're hoping that we can get him. He's a defensive player. And we also hope that we can get some other guys that we're in the running for. It's about three or four more other guys out there that we're looking to get on the defensive line and at a linebacker, and I think another one is another DB. So hopefully we can get those guys, but if not, we wish them the best. And we know that Sarkisian is going to continue to recruit through the whistle, and hopefully we can get some guys flipped. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I also wanted to talk about the fact that, we got a game coming up this Saturday with Florida State and Georgia Tech. So I'm interested to get everybody's opinion on how they think that game is going to go. So when you watch this video, just put in the comments how you think that game is going to go between Georgia Tech and Florida State. and put it in the comments. I also wanted to talk about some coaches that some writers believe are on the hot seat. Now, if any of these coaches I name coach your team, I want you to really consider what I'm about to say and think, is my coach on the hot seat? First, I want to start with Florida's coach. Now, he has a tough schedule this year, but I believe that if he can get to 7 wins, that will be good enough for them to retain him. But if they don't get to 7 wins, they're going to have to part ways with him, and he's going to have to find him a job somewhere else. I also believe, and I like this guy as a coach, I really do. But if he doesn't get um, the wins that he needs this year, they're probably going to go in another direction. And I got this team winning the ACC, and that's the Miami Hurricanes. If Mario Cristobal does not win the ACC, and he does not have a good season, they're probably going to part ways with him. Even though they've had some pretty decent seasons, they're probably going to part ways with him because he just isn't getting the job done. He's having a difficult time recruiting at the level that Miami needs to be recruiting. And they have been doing pretty decent in the transfer portal, though. But I think that they're going to part ways with him. I really am concerned about Penn State's Mr. Franklin. I'm really concerned about him as well because if they cannot get past the Michigans and the Ohio States of the world, and they can continue to win 9 and 10 games a season, but can't win the Big Ten championship, their fans are going to be like, "Well, listen, man, he can get us all the way up there, but he can't win. He can't get the championship." Then they're going to probably be like, "We got to find somebody who can." And Penn State is always going to be one of those colleges that gets good players. So that won't be an issue no matter who they hire to get good players. They just got to get a coach that can get them over the hump and win the Big Ten. Another coach that I believe is on the hot seat is Arkansas's coach, and I don't think he's going to make it the whole season. Uh, Sam Pittman. I really believe that he is not going to make it through the rest of the season. They just don't have the players and the talent to compete in the SEC at the level that they need to in order to keep a coach around. So they're probably going to part ways with him. Now, earlier we was having a conversation about Kentucky's Mr. Stoops, and one of my buddies assured me that Mr. Stoops isn't going anywhere no matter how their season turns out. And he's probably right because he has a better connection to Kentucky than I do. I'm just thinking, if they can't get over the hump and get any better, maybe they're going to part ways with him, especially with the situation that happened with Texas A&M and him possibly going there, but at the last minute, it's up in the air whether or not he decided he wasn't going once he got on that plane to go there, or if the boosters actually was like, no, we don't want Stoops. So we don't know what the case is until one of them come out and say the actual facts, or really both of them come out and say the actual facts, and the actual facts are the same. We don't know about that situation with Mr. Stoops and the Kentucky football team. But my friend assured me that Mr. Stoops isn't going anywhere, and he probably knows because his son plays for Kentucky. So he's probably right about that. I'm also kind of concerned about Lincoln Riley. Now, he's probably not going to get fired, but if he doesn't have a successful season this season, that seat going to get warm. It's got to get warm because they're going to be saying to themselves, yeah, you can offensively do everything that you can do, but defensively, you got to get somebody in here that can coach that defense and get that defense together because that defense is not hitting on anything. Hopefully, it'll be better this year, and he'll be able to not be on a hot seat. But I think he's probably going to be on a hot seat if they can't do better than what they're doing. I also think that Brent Venables from Oklahoma, even though he got that big contract, Oklahoma is not going to be one of those places where you are only getting 8, 9 wins. They want double-digit wins. Otherwise, they're going to part ways with you. So, Mr. Venables, you're going to have to get it together. And I'm not going to say that Clemson will get rid of Dabo Sweeney, but if Dabo Sweeney does not get with the program, they're going to have to. They're not going to have any choice because they're going to need to compete at the level that they were competing at when they were going to national championships. Their fans are not going to take anything less than that. I mean, that's what they expect. And anytime you're located in the area that they're located, they expect that to be the case. So hopefully, being down south in South Carolina and them being the top team in South Carolina, they should be able to make that happen. Let me see. Let me think. Who else might be on the hot seat in college football? Hmm. I don't know. That might be it. That's all that I might be able to think about right now. I do believe that Florida State's coach, even though he's not on the hot seat, his seat can get warm if he starts to falter. Even though he's had some very good seasons the past 2 seasons, he could end up on a hot seat too if he can't get over that hump because that's what they're expecting, especially if he can't keep up to getting those type of players that he's been getting. So we'll see what happens by the end of this season, but I'm almost certain that the coaching carousel will happen, and you'll get 5 to 10 coaches that will probably be looking for new homes somewhere. They'll probably end up becoming analysts so that they can continue to get that payout. Um, and be able to be an analyst instead of being somebody that's actually coaching, but they're just providing feed. Well, you know what? Matter of fact, let me take that back because now analysts can be hands on with the players and be out there coaching. So I don't know. Maybe that might change, and maybe they won't get that payout. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we also talked about another topic earlier too, when me, Kevin, Howard, and John were communicating, and we were talking about um, the NFL and how players who are coming back off of injury, how they're going to perform, if they're going to be up to speed. And we were mainly talking about Mr. Chubb, and was Mr. Chubb going to be, um, able to come back and be as healthy and strong as he was before he got hurt last year? And Kevin was saying he don't think he'll probably be up to speed until about the fourth or fifth game of the season. And John Branham chimed in and said he thinks he's the best running back in the NFL when he's healthy, which is pretty accurate, man. Because Chubb is really good. He's a really good running back. And then, of course, I had to throw Bijan Robinson in there because I'm a Texas fan and I love Bijan Robinson. And I think he's a phenomenal running back. And I hope that he gets more touches this year. We also talked about Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And if all of those Pittsburgh Steelers fans, are they real fans or are they bandwagon fans? And Kevin brought up a very good point. He said, man, when we used to go on those trips to them Cleveland and Pittsburgh games, it was only a handful of dudes from the hood who was real Steeler fans that would go on them trips with us. He named his brother Alvin Bird. He named Tracy Ferguson. He named Daryl McGrew. He named Sean Jones, and it was somebody else that he named. Not saying that those other people are not real Pittsburgh Steelers fans, but he was saying there's a lot of bandwagon fans out there that ever since that song came out, Black and Gold by 2 Chainz, people was jumping on the bandwagon. So listen, if you're listening to this video and you're one of those Pittsburgh Steelers fans who jumped on the bandwagon when 2 Chainz came out with that song, Black and Yellow, get off the bandwagon and go find you a real team. Or just don't have a team at all. Just root for the NFL. Be like Michelle Barksdale. Just root for the NFL and just watch whatever, even though she's an undercover Cleveland Browns fan. But she'll wear every team jersey in the league, which says that she's really not a fan of any of them. She just likes the NFL. She just likes to watch football with the homies. So, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, if you ain't true to the Steelers, then just go ahead and just be a fan of the NFL. You don't have to claim that you like the Steelers just because of the song by 2 Chainz. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Cool? All right, so I just wanted to jump on real quick and just share my thoughts on the things that I talked about in this video. Please remember to subscribe. Please share the videos and ask your friends and family members to subscribe to our channel, WTP Sports Dudes. We're still trying to get to 200 subscribers. We're still at 162. We're trying to get to 200. We're 38 subscribers away from 200. And then, of course, when we get to 200, we want to get to 300, and so on and so forth. So ultimately, we want to get to 1,000 and beyond. So keep on supporting us. Please continue to watch our videos. Please continue to share, like, and subscribe. As always, at the end of my videos, whenever I mention my Longhorns or I got my Longhorn shirt on, hook 'em.